What's going on, everybody? Junior here, just going over a gameplay that we played from the championship, season championship game one the other day. It's been a pretty tough closeout to the season, but I was happy with how we developed as a team over the 5 weeks that we played together. We're actually going to be probably mixing up the team for this next season. Reese has some other commitments for the season championship, and so I want to be able to play with um, probably the same team leading up to this season championship rather than switching like playing the first three comps with Reese and then playing with somebody else for that championship just doesn't sit well. So yeah, I'm going to be looking for probably a different squad, and same with Pips. He has a different family commitments, which means that he's not wanting to play this season, which is all good. So I'm either going to keep playing with Lucas and find two other players, or me and Lucas might even part ways and play on two different teams. So we'll find out that closer, probably soon in the next couple of days. We'll figure that out. So yeah, I'm going to dive right into this game. This was Plaza Strongholds. This was the first game of the series, and we got steamrolled. So I'm just going to watch my own gameplay and show you guys how I'd break down my own gameplay, keeping in mind that I'm not going to be moving forward playing with Pips and Reese. I am just going to focus on what I'm doing in the game, and yeah, just make sure that I know what actually went wrong in these games and how I can improve on it and bring whatever I learned from this game to whatever team I play on next. So yeah, um, first death is the opening. So right here, I saw a guy on driveway. I kind of missed my jump to Umbrella, but also there was a guy sitting top mid who could watch and clean me up, and then Mazzy's on LR. So ideally I would have been sitting like probably up here, would have been great, and then I could have potentially jumped up and grabbed it. But yeah, you just got to go with what happens at the time, and so let's see how I play this out. So I was able to kind of play sneaky and walk forward into the player at LR without anyone else shooting me. My teammates picked up some nice kills, and then we knew that the camo was still up, so I tried to jump out and turn to kill that guy. I think Slazy ended up picking it up, so this is a really important kill that we don't actually get. I know one of my teammates was capturing Yard at the start and potentially could have been more involved in the battle, so we'll just quickly go look at that. So I think Pips pushes Yard off the start of this game. Wow, that's not a bad play, especially if the other team doesn't send a guy Yard. So I think at this point though, I think we've talked about this play, and what we should do is, rather than probably going straight for the shotgun and capping Yard, which is also a good play, like maybe instant flanking LR to actually get involved in the battle would be a better idea. So I think Pips eventually does kill the guy LR, but if he did come out quicker, and if he was already, say, here, he would probably have a better angle to try and burn that camo, and then we can decide what hill we're going to go for. That was probably the only mistake I could see that we made off the start, besides me falling from top mid. Lucas, I think probably could have lived a little bit better, and Reese is trying to contest now, so. Fortunately, Slazy ends up getting away here. I think he's just sitting on the umbrella. Reese can't kill him because he's one shot. And we've just capped Yard. So right here, I think the play, if you zoom out and look at it, is neither team has bottom mid yet, and the enemy doesn't have nest. But, I mean, where we're positioned, where's the enemy's positioned, they're capping bottom. I can't really solo defend that just yet. Luke's getting ready to drop down. Reese could potentially try and stop this. From my point of view, and based off of the comms, I've just choose to start off a push to nest here. Now again, whether this is the right play, I think Lucas, he jumped top gold and ended up dropping bottom pretty early, without actually having adequate support. Pips was in a great spot to try and help Lucas, but also me, and Reese, I think, got backed down. But also, Reese could have dropped bottom mid, Luke could have dropped bottom mid, and I could have contested, but I think because they've got the camo guy, we were pretty tentative to do that play, so I think we just wanted to try and feel out where the enemy was. But yeah, it's pretty rough when the enemy team gets camo. Like, you have to play for these camos, you have to all play for it, and you have to go for either a burn or get it yourself. Because if the enemy team's walking around with a camo on plaza strongholds, you're at a real big disadvantage, because anything you choose to do becomes super difficult. So I got nice shots here on Barcode. I chose to thrust forward, which was a mistake. I didn't really need to do that. Bark ends up getting a good grenade on me and then punishing me for it. So at this point, I think Pips looks to finish off that push with a shotgun. Luke's trying to defend Nest here, so Luke had to make the decision when he spawned top blue ramp, can I defend Nest or am I going to rotate somewhere else? We were at a significant numbers disadvantage, and so Luke just living as long as he can in Cafe is probably the best play that he can make right now. He's unlikely to going to be able to defend Yard or Nest here, so I think if we're all spawning on this side of the map, considering he's already weak and he's already being pushed, it's better to actually try and live at the back of Cafe rather than keep walking towards Yard and continually getting shot. So keeping in mind Luke's just trying to live as long as he can, the next player has to think, can I help Luke at all, or can I start off a new push to like the next objective? So I think I spawned Loop here and I was looking towards Nest, and I decided to push Nest side, which isn't necessarily the wrong play. Let's just see how it plays out. Okay, so same thing over here. Again, this wasn't my best tournament as an individual player. I think someone was calling out this guy Nest with the shotgun weak, and so I wanted to push this guy. But thrusting straight at that shotgun when the enemy team knows I just killed that player, they're going to be fighting for that too. So this was pretty foolish of me. I should have just taken my time and made sure that I kept my shields and got the first shot on Barcode to back him down and waited for help. Help was on the way from Pips. Barcode ends up getting a big kill here, so now it's up for Pips and Reese to decide whether we're going to keep pushing Nest into a shotgun player, which is not a very good option, or if we're going to start like a push to Yard here. So sometimes it's better to just kind of play the numbers situation. It's 4-on-2 right now. We don't really have an easy push, and we don't know where we're going to be spawning. So let's see how Reese plays this for a second. So Reese is actually waiting, and you can see that this is actually a good play because Ali's grenading, Slazy's up top gold ready to help and snap to that call out, and Pips is sitting loop right now. So I actually don't mind how our team's playing this. Let's just see how we're going here. Luke ends up spawning loop, and again at this point it's just good to get angles and see where the enemy team's pushing from. Make a bit of a fortification so that they risk making the mistake trying to push into us, and also to see where Junior spawns. So shotgun guy ends up running in, Luke gets a really good kill on him, and I think I end up spawning lift. Now, I spawned lift and lifted up to here, and at this point I'd be hoping that, say, the team as a whole knows that I spawned lift and that Reese isn't going to commit to Yard, and that our team is really just going to be playing for Nest with the kill that we just got. So it may seem weird that I need Reese on the other side of the map to play for the Nest stronghold, but that's just the way the game works. So there's no way that Reese can cap Yard right now. If he starts capping Yard, he's going to have Slazy pressuring him. No doubt the guy in blue will probably drop and push him, and he doesn't really have the team support to cap Yard. So we're actually closer to Nest here than we are capping Yard, and so Reese just needs to make a play where he doesn't die. He doesn't allow the enemy team to flank us from like LR or whatever. So while I'm capping Nest over there, Luke unfortunately dies there. If we can live there, that's really good. Ali's pushing through the center of the map, and yeah, Reese should probably either come LR and actually hold that side of the map while Pips moves over towards me. The way Luke died, I'm not sure. We can go check this out because it's like just demonstrates how important living is when you don't know what the current play is. So this was the previous play where Luke spawned Cafe, ended up getting cleaned up. Rather than living at back Cafe. And then here he's spawning in this same position. It's a bit hard to know where we're going to push. The enemy team's 3 stacked on this side of the map, so I'm actually kind of glad that he came over here and tried to help Pips. It's a really nice kill, and then he can't really do much to live there. So I think at this point Pips is also trying to live, and I'm capping Nest, as I said, trying to watch over the team. Reese unfortunately gets into a battle with the guy top gold, trades it out. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not really getting much assistance here for the Nest cap, and I think Pips is, yeah, still trying to live. Unfortunately, Pips doesn't get this kill, and Madsy gets a really big kill on me. I tried to grenade him to slow him down and wait for help, but yeah, classed me and pushed me. So yeah, we lose this play clean out. Now we're spawning loop again, so they're having a fun time spawning us loop at the moment. I don't necessarily think loop is the worst part on the map to spawn, but I think they do a pretty good job of controlling Nest, top gold, and not overcommitting to us on their own. So, but yeah, I think I'd rather all be spawning loop than cafe for sure. So Luke spawns in and decides to push Nest side here, which again isn't necessarily the wrong play. Often it can be easier to go to yard first and cap yard than it is to go to Nest, because the whole enemy team is going to be trying to defend the inside of the map. But there was a weak guy at Nest that Lucas was trying to push, and you can see here that our teams are already moving in the direction of Nest. So ideally what goes on here is that Luke actually tries to keep pushing to Nest rather than slowing down and stopping, and that he has another teammate who can kind of watch over him while he's doing what he's doing. But we are still down numbers, and so we have to be so careful here. Now we all spawned there, so Pips should be able to watch over the back of Reese and Luke while they're making their play, and then I should be able to watch over the rest of the team. I think really Luke and Reese need to probably push to this spot and actually shoot together. If we can get a pick or a kill, that is the best thing that could happen right now. So just going to go from my point of view. I spawn here, see the teammates pushing out that way. I get grenaded, and I know I'm probably going to get pushed into. You could technically say that it's my fault here that Slazy just runs in and kills Pips. That's what some people refer to as baiting. So like I'm baiting Pips, or I'm being inactive while Pips he needs me to be active. So if I could have gotten a nice assassination on Slazy, that would have saved Pip's life here. But at the end of the day, you can't always predict all these things. I was half shield. If maybe I just sat here and got a little bit more vision on the map, I would have risked being cleaned up if I came this way. But maybe this way I could have caught Slazy off guard a little bit better. Either way, I get this kill. Reese and Luke were over here. They both needed to be double teaming this guy S4. I think they're trying to. Luke ends up not living here, which again, like, he had the help. We really just need Reese to kill this guy or weaken him while Luke lives, and that level of patience and kind of care when you're pushing out the objective is what's needed so that we can actually stay alive, get our shields back, and still be capping Nest. I get a really nice kill on Ali, who pushes in with the shotgun, and I managed to kill him. So yeah, a situation at Nest that we should have won, we ended up didn't winning, and it wasn't that we pushed the wrong areas, it was the way we pushed it was wrong. So this is the situation where we just failed our push to Nest. There's no point in me going up and trying to start that push again. I could potentially jump up here and start suppressing the enemies as they're trying to push forward out of the map, but as you can see, they're just holding what they've got, so I wouldn't have really got very far there. Sometimes it's better to just go for the double cap in the hill, and then somebody else, like Luke, might be able to jump up glass and start shooting these guys like this, or at least getting information. The other thing is Reese just spawned hotel, so we've instantly got some really key parts of the map that we can be watching from these spots. So Reese, knowing that we're capping yard, needs to be so careful about what he does here, and same with Luke. So Reese is sprinting off of spawn, which I hope doesn't give away his position. But if he can be watching places like top gold, that's really good. And then Luke, being at loop, can watch, kind of this area. If they don't know he's there, he can watch top gold and LR and just all the spots that they can push into yard onto us from. So again, he gets that nice help from LR to kill this guy, which is like a really nice pinching angle. LR and Luke work really well together. Reese, I think, gets a kill here. Yeah, so he gets a kill on Ali. He needs to try and live here. Got top gold who we're shooting. I think Pips must have come behind us all here through LR tunnel, which again isn't necessarily wrong, but In this situation, I think probably because Reese is over here, I would have jumped top gold so that you can help Reese and you can help your team over this side. Only because Reese is down there. But here, taking kind of the same angle. We get 2 dead. This is awesome. I really like what Luke does here. So we kill this guy. We kill 3 of them, and the last guy's top gold, and rather than Luke dropping to bottom mid and this guy capping our yard, Luke actually pushes this guy, and first person, yeah, he doesn't miss him. Gets that kill, comes back to LR. Now at this point on Plaza Strongholds, we've got the yard controlled, we're going bottom mid. We don't really need to be dropping into the hill here. We can just kind of grab the LR and start watching the rest of the map. I think Luke realizes that after he drops that he probably didn't need to do that. And now he's coming out this way, which again, I really like this play. Now, the objective here would be for me to anchor glass while we triple man push nest side. So if Reese can kind of, like the reason for that is because we've still got the advantage, we've still got kills. We want to take inside map control and set up for the camo, which is coming up soon. Now technically, if we are playing for the camo, we just need to be all focused on setting up for this. So if we can spawn the enemy team blue and force them into blue and yard here, that's really good. So Pips and Luke need to kind of double man push the objective through here so that we're instantly rotating the map. We're not really in a position where we can just go all defend yard, and there's not any point to doing that. I'd rather give the enemy team yard here. So I'm blocking the spawn here. You can see that Pips and Luke need to kind of start this push over here, or at least one guy needs to get to nest, and then the other guy needs to play for camo, and then Reese can kind of do what he's doing, which is playing sneaky, hopefully. I really like this play from Reese. He's not sprinting, he's not thrusting, he's not giving away his position. He didn't really need to do this. There's no real reason to jump up here, because he just needs to try and catch the enemy guard off, not the other way around. Like, this is so exposed what he's doing, and he potentially misses lazy here. So. Pips ends up being in the hill, which is really good. Lucas is there to help him. Ali tries to wrap around the map, which isn't a bad play, especially because Camo's coming up. I just kind of get the jump on him. Now here, if I fell, at this point, I would have potentially became inactive. So if I fell to the ground here, not only am I going to get pushed, but also Ali is going to block off the angle from me, and he's going to start shooting my teammates in the back. Now I'm trying to communicate to these guys that this guy's doing this, but they're also trying to help a teammate. So by thrusting back to the battle here, I'm actually just keeping myself active, and this guy's trying to clean me, so I end up blocking off the angle from him. And I push this guy quickly to get him off the map, rather than waiting for my teammates to do that. So yeah, at this point we've got bottom mid, we're capping nest. Reese is still living in hotel, which is absolutely huge. He should have help from his teammates to clean this guy. Unfortunately, we're not watching over him. But we do end up capping... we do end up capping nest. We do now need... Yeah, and we've got bottom mid. And we're in a perfect position to get camo. So we just need to make a decision here as... you know, what we're going to do next after this. I would probably say that the enemy team is going to start a push towards me at glass, and so if Luke could walk his way over to me, that would be really good at the moment. Now there's 2 different ways you can play this. Luke can either go back to nest and block nest. We can block hotel or blue. We can get camo if we haven't got it already. I think someone might have burnt it maybe. And then I could just sit way more cautiously than what I'm doing and kind of hold this angle from here or here. That way I'm living. So as soon as we got those 2 picks, you'll notice that I do a fairly aggressive play. So we got 2 dead over here. I'm anchoring this spot. We start pushing nest out. We end up getting 1 pick. Now we get 2 picks. There's camo. Camo's up on the map. So Madzi actually goes for the camo burn, which is a great play. But we just got this extra pick again. So it's 4-on-2 right now. And camo was burnt. So if camo wasn't burnt and we were still waiting for it to spawn, I'd probably play it a little bit like slower and say I could block this angle. I could block this spawn, sorry. Cut off the angles from me. Just watch LR, force the enemy team to kind of come behind me here, away from camo. And then this guy here could just play for camo. We might even have a player over where Reese is, and maybe another player sitting around here holding the map, blocking the spawn at nest. Then we can grab camo and go from there. But because camo was already burnt and we had like another pick, what I would say is that we should play more aggressive on these guys. I think Reese can make a quick play. He can either thrust slide straight up to here and push in from either this way or this way. Or he can run through blue like he does, which is a bit slower, but still effective. Pips can get ready to kind of jump to top gold, which is fine. And then I think Lucas probably in this situation needed to push over to me. And so based off of that pick, I instantly started kind of pushing towards yard. But I could have done this better. Like I really could have done this better. So I think what I should have done is just maybe take this slower and play for information. Because I'm pretty close to yard, I could have just waited for my teammates to sprint through the map to get to yard. I could have just sat here for a second and you know, saw what the enemy team was doing. I mean, they did just cap yard, so logically they might be pushing over towards me. So if I was here, I could battle one guy and potentially thrust back and live and battle another guy, which is going to make it really easy for my teammates to kill these guys. I think what I did was kind of thrust slide through the map pretty quick to try and put pressure on yard. This is potentially a mistake, and like I require more help than what I would if I did it the other way. So when I see Slazy here and I've got this guy behind me, I'm trying to waste their time as much as I can. I end up getting Slazy one shot. So at this point, Luke had backed all the way up to Sniper to try and block Nest because he wanted to hold the map. Again, not the wrong play, it's just not the play that the other guys on the team were thinking of doing because Pips had pushed and Reese had pushed. If I had played my situation better and I was sitting up on this box over here, playing my life against these guys, well then that would give time for Pips to flank top gold, for Reese to flank flowers, and we can potentially kill these guys 3-on-2, which is far more efficient than all four of us coming, like 4-on-2. Which potentially allows Luke to, you know, come back to nest and start shooting the guys spawning top blue, or he could come back to top mid while we're pushing 3-on-2, and he could, you know, just watch driveway, help us clean up these guys, and then he could jump up and start pressuring anyone who spawns nest. So there are higher level plays, but yeah, an easy play to do would have just all four of us to push over in that direction, and then when we knew that we were going to kill them, then we can start turning around and pressuring the spawners. So yeah, could have either been mine or Luke's fault there, but I would like to say it was probably mostly my fault. Alright, so I spawned blue here. I think the enemy team has decided that because we all committed to yard that they want to cap bottom, mid and nest. It's not a bad play, but if you watch what happened, Lazy and Ali got out of this whole situation when they probably shouldn't have. So right here, you've got Lazy thrusting over towards me. He becomes one shot. Now if Luke came with me, Luke would have traded this kill out easily from top glass. And Ali wouldn't have been able to escape so easily because he would have been getting shot from multiple people, and then they would have both been dead, and then the enemy team wouldn't have just come out and started capping both hills. So that's one way that would have gone better for us. But yeah, they managed to survive, and we didn't clean them up, and now they're causing chaos, like they're causing havoc on the map for us to deal with. So right here, I spawn in. I have to make the decision as to whether I'm going to give up nest or if I'm going to just go the other way, help my team. Generally, if there's a player sitting in nest and he's capping it and I think we can defend it, I would push down this way. Not sure what happened to camo, whether someone on the enemy team has it. I can't see anybody with camo at the moment. Actually, that was the camo that we burnt earlier, sorry. So yeah, Arcos ends up out shooting me here, and yeah, I just chose to sat here. I could back up and rotate, but I think I was just more interested in staying alive here and seeing whether I could outshoot him the next time, considering he's still capping the hill. So as you can see, he still hasn't exactly capped it. He's just capped it then, but as soon as he's capped it, I'm not really interested in that guy anymore. To be honest, this is even a risky play what I'm doing. I should probably be back in blue, but I turn my attention to these guys and dip. I'm trying to stress these guys to Luke. Luke ends up getting a 1, and then there's another guy down there, one shot. And my job here is to live for a second. I should probably just sit here and wait for more information while my teammates call out what's going on. I think Lucas, in this play, probably needed... We were 3 dead here, so he ends up getting a pick. Still pretty weak here. He just got shot once and getting called out. So this is fine, but what I would do is back up here. Like, there's no real reason to push this guy. He can just live in flowers and wait for more help. Or just come out the front to top mid and help his teammates. So, yeah, when it's all scrappy like this and messy, you're just trying to decide which hill do we want to go for. And I definitely think, given that he just got a pick and that there was a guy in yard, there was no real reason to take that battle. I think I ended up getting into a bad battle down here myself. So again, try not to move too much when you don't know where the enemy is. Like, play off of information rather than just walking out. Pips tries to kill out the guy I got one shot, and even though he got barcode to one shot, he tried to make a pretty solid play, which was to try and clean that guy up before killing his own one shot. Unfortunately, didn't get either. And then the only guy alive is Reese, so again, Reese needs to try and make a decision, which is a difficult one. It's a triple cap, we're down numbers. You really got to be composed here and fight for kills, but kills within a team structure that makes sense, so you're actually going to get the appropriate help. So I think Reese can hear someone above him. Instantly he should be saying like, someone watch over me, so that we can kill this guy. There's no one to help him. Now there is, so our team has to decide whether we can actually help him or not. I'm walking yard beer, Luke's helping him, Reese actually dies here. So now this kind of play, unless Luke can get an easy kill on this guy, he really needs to just back up here while we start making the next play. So the kill is not really coming very easy for him. Pips ends up coming to help. We get the kill. I think Pips probably dies here, and also I think I made an average play at yard BR. So let's just check this out. Lazy gets a good kill on me. So here, we're down numbers, we should be technically taking our time here. Lazy gets the jump on me. I don't thrust very well, I don't live, and he gets a good kill. So now we are just dominoing, and yeah, at this point, it happens to everybody. I think it was even happening to Inconceivables today against Sentinels. Like, you just have to really be composed and keep trying to live and get your teammates spawned in on the map before you try and do too much yourself. But that doesn't mean sit still in your spawn point. It means start making a play towards an area and hope that you can try and live long enough that your teammates can spawn in with you and work together. So I think we're spawning lift here. Again, it's tempting to come back up to nest, I think, from lift. Sometimes you can do that, but sometimes like you just need to make that play out to hotel or something and kind of watch the top of the map and see where your teammates spawn in, and then try and work towards getting a hill that way. Because even if we both come to nest right here, and we're all still spawning here, this is an example of we're all trapped in a corner of the map, we're trying to cap the hill, but they're about to wrap around us from every single angle, and then we've got no way of fighting our way out of here. So even if we cap the hill, we have no angles, we have no ability to, yeah, we're just getting slaughtered. And Pips is probably going to spawn out, which he did. They didn't block the spawn. Alright, so now, yeah, this is, again, like, we need to ignore this player, and we just need to start the next play. I think Luke's doing a good job at living up here, which is nice to see. Gets a bit of help on that kill. Pips died, going out on the middle of the map, so let's just see what Reese does here. I think the story of this gameplay is like, we really need to just, oh okay, Reese actually spawned hotel there and came across the nest. So again, if he could have maybe got out there and actually got into a different position where maybe he got a pick in blue and rotate back through the map to help us cap nest, that would have been better. But let's just see what he does off his next spawn. Spawns there, ends up kind of overcommitting and then chasing. And then Reese is in the peculiar situation where he has to decide, am I going to help Luke cap nest, or am I going to give up on that play if Luke's going to die guaranteed and then go yard. So he's making the play that I think is probably the right play, which is coming over here. Drops out of his cover from glass, which is a bit disappointing, because as that second player comes in, he probably would have had a better chance to survive if he could have came out this way. Whereas when you drop down out of cover and you're in these positions, you have to now clamber up or run away a different way. So, unfortunately, Reese dies in that situation. We're just constantly kind of leaving good positions and dominoing. And then right here, I think I'm doing the same thing again. Barcode destroys me in that battle. So we're just trying to find our footing. We've capped nest here, but we're 2 dead, and we've got enemies coming in from all sides. So I would probably be making the enemy work hard and let them push into us, force them to check their angles, force them to get the right angles. So again, Reese has to make the decision here. Am I going to push over and help Luke at nest side, or am I going to push towards yard? That's tricky because I just spawned hotel for some reason, and now I'm trying to defend what we've got, and Reese is trying to push yard. So we're instant splitting again. To be honest, that one's pretty hard to call because I would have thought that if the enemy team stacked on this side of the map, that I wouldn't spawn hotel, and then I might spawn over at a different area of the map, but it didn't work out like that. So I came over here, I ended up getting one guy to one shot, but Reese wasn't there to clean him. So yeah, I should have either just sat hotel waiting for more information, or Reese should have just pushed into this other side of the map like he is.
Stronghold captured.
Alright, so here it's 89 to 19, and we're all finally together on the map. Like, this is our opportunity to try and do something. So we end up getting a pick on Slayers, which is really good. Again, one pick isn't really enough to go bottom mid. Camo is up. I think I'm starting a push to nest. There's a guy who's made... I didn't actually see this in the game, so let's just see what Barcode does here. Seems like a pretty good play, whatever he's doing. He's just putting extra pressure on the map because he knows it's so close. So Barcode comes over this way, takes blue up, wraps around the map this way, and he's taking a flank, which again is not necessarily ideal, but putting a lot of pressure on us. Slazy died, and we're forced to come and turn around to actually kill this guy. Otherwise, we're gonna lose the game, guaranteed. So Luke has to come over here now, and then have a piv, and Barcode ends up getting that kill. So huge play out of Barcode. I think my screen might have gone black there for a second. So. Yeah, so by the time the game's over, we don't really have anything we can do. And yeah, so what I would learn from this game is whatever team you play on, when you're down numbers and you're dominoing against a fast team like A1, who are obviously going to be sprinting at you from all angles and trying to block spawns. Not perfectly, but good enough in this region to be doing what they're doing. That yeah, you want to try and not just sit still off of spawn, but try and take some ground towards the objective that you want to, or towards a teammate. You obviously have to fight for slays, but like you're not going to be able to get those picks or those slays if you're all just sitting in the one spot. You actually want to start a play, try and get someone to work with you or watch over you, and yeah, the challenge is reconnecting amidst a map of like hectic gameplay. So yeah, thanks for tuning in and watching this video, guys. I hope that it's helpful. If it's a bit messy, just give me some feedback. I'll try and make things a little bit more clear when I go over the films. If you'd rather me go over the films with or without the outlines to make it a little bit more relatable to your in-game gameplay, let me know and I'll try and do some more of that. I'm going to be releasing 2 more videos, which are the middle and the last game in this series that we played against these guys. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Chuck a like or hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this content, and I think that's it for now, guys. I also got a new controller, got a Scuff Prestige. Shout out to Divine Mind for supplying that. I didn't give you a very good look at that, but it's freaking awesome. Yeah, Divine Mind have given me $1,000 to set up my stream, give me some new equipment, so I'm going to be getting some new lights for my stream. I'm going to be getting a new microphone, make myself sound clearer. And a bit cringe, but I'm going to get some RGB lighting up in the room, which would be cool. And yeah, like a boom arm for my microphone. So yeah, thanks guys.